I'm sure you studied a whole ton of Trubisky film before taking this job. What was the attribute that you saw on film about this kid that made you think, you know what, I can work with that?
So with Mitch, when I was in Kansas City, we went through an extensive process of evaluating the quarterback position. We brought in 6 guys in that draft from 2 years ago, Coach Reed, myself, and Brad Childress, and we spent about 6 hours with all 6 guys, and Mitch obviously being one of those guys. And so when we were with him at the combine, you only get 15 minutes, and you can't. There's just not enough time to know who that person is and how they work one-on-one. And so when we brought Mitch in, we were able to kind of really get a good feel of who he was. And so I had the advantage of knowing that coming into this job with the Bears and knowing who he was as a person and how he, where his football IQ was as a quarterback. And so, the biggest question with him coming out was his lack of experience at North Carolina. And but from going through our offense with him on the board and knowing where he was at, we left that meeting extremely impressed by him. And so I knew right away that helped me in knowing who he was. And then the more I got to spend time with him here in OTAs and then obviously in the training camp, he's everything that we thought he was. And I'm just really looking forward to the future.
So then what is the future? How bright is it, Matt? What are you getting?
Well, I think it's bright. I really do. I think that he's first of all, he's a kid that at this position, you want to have. We talk about guys being obsessed and in the right way, and so this guy's he's a complete football junkie. He wants to be the best, and he's going to do everything he possibly can to make sure that he's preparing as much as he can. And so, this offense does take a little bit of time, and for him, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of different things. We put a lot of pressure on the quarterback to make the right decisions and choices, and what I had to do, Rich, was I have to be able to, 5 years in one system with Alex Smith and with Coach Reed, we were able to really evolve in that system, and we got really advanced. I learned it here now as a play caller, / head coach, dealing with Mitch and these other quarterbacks, is that I need to train myself to pull back. It's not fair to try to think that we're going to be in year 5 of where we were with Kansas City. So what we've done is we've gone back to the quote-unquote meat and potatoes of the offense and tried to see what fits him and the rest of the guys. And so it's taken a little bit of time. We finally clicked it together for a game this past weekend, and it was nice for those guys to see what could happen.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.